Hello and welcome back to Mirror of Twilight. Today we will be covering my thoughts over the Nintendo Switch 2. My opinion may be different than some, and you do not have to agree with my opinion, so thank you so much for watching. So, as everyone knows, the Switch 2 is being sold for $450 with $500 as a bundle. And this is where I come to my main point. I feel that Nintendo has betrayed us as fans. Nintendo has always had more affordable prices on games, and now Nintendo is asking for about $200 more than Switch 1. But what did they have to show for it? They kept this thing secret for years. They've suffered through the worst leaking in video game history. Their Nintendo Direct for Switch 2 lagged and froze for not just me, but everyone. Mario Kart World and the new Donkey Kong are the only major first-party games. Metroid Prime 4 doesn't even have a release date yet.
Let's take a look.
The list goes on, and don't get me wrong, I think the Switch 2 is cool and everything, and I will purchase one in the future, but another thing to look at is the practicality. I'm going to put you in my shoes now. The mouse function, that's great, but I play on the couch, and I'm not buying a TV tray to put the mouse on, so how could I play mouse function games? The game chat, that's great, but I don't have any friends with the Switch, let alone with the Switch 2. The storage, that's great, but even my Switch 1 isn't even at half storage, because I, and I'm sure others, know how to manage it. The camera, that's great, but aside from that, I can't use game chat anyways. I play far away from my TV screen, so I would be so tiny that everyone could barely see me and my voice would be very faint. If I could buy a Switch 2 without all these extra functions I will not use, I could spend even up to $350 at the console. $450 is way too much.
Let's go!
Now moving on to Mario Kart World, this is not an $80 game. From what I saw, it is only Mario characters, the selection menus are very clunky, and the open world function is honestly quite unrealistic compared to the rest of the game. He even resorted to letting you play as a cow to add more characters, but why not have Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, Samus, Villager, Inklings, and even more non-Mario characters instead? Now, the next 3.5 minutes is dedicated to the one thing that would make me buy Switch 2 as soon as I can. And sorry about the poor editing, I tried to do the best I could. That's right, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. You might think I'm obsessed, and your assumption is probably correct, but it is a spectacular game. I've always played it on the Wii, but the Wii is almost 20 years old, and it doesn't work with the quality it had when it was new. I was very disappointed when Nintendo announced the Wind Waker with its tuned graphics for GameCube NSO instead of Twilight Princess. We need more realistic games. If Twilight Princess was on GameCube NSO, which I'm very sure it's not, I would buy a Switch 2 and an expansion pack right away. But Nintendo truly has nothing to show for the Switch 2 except for some cooler connecting controllers, a novel mouse feature, and more storage. And I hate to encourage this, but for everyone who's doing this, keep it up. As long as it remains peaceful, our voices will be heard by Nintendo. They've got a whole room of people reading the chats on their live streams. By all means, if there is anyone out there buying a Switch 2 on launch day, more power to you. I just think that we cannot teach Nintendo they can charge this much and we will still buy it. I may as well go and buy a PS5, as it is near the same price and has more realistic games. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in today, and as always, please leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps get my content out to more viewers. Thank you so much for watching.